Hello everyone. Today we're going to celebrate Memorial Day in this new video. Memorial Day commemorates the men and women who died while in the military service of their country, particularly those who died in battle or as a result of wounds sustained in that battle. In other words, the purpose of Memorial Day is to memorialize the veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. We spend time remembering those who lost their lives and could not come home, reflecting on their service and why we have the luxury and freedom that we do enjoy today. We might consider how we can support and safeguard those grieving families and the loved ones they left behind. Originally called Decoration Day, Memorial was only made into a national holiday in 1971. It was first celebrated in the years following the American Civil War, when friends and family members would decorate the graves of the many soldiers they knew who had died in that great conflict. The tradition continued through the years and later adopted the poppy as a symbol, when suggested by an American professor named Moina Michael, who was inspired after she read the World War I poem In Flanders Fields. I will recite Michael's poem as well as In Flanders Fields for you in a moment. In more recent times, the term Memorial Day has replaced the Decoration Day as the name for the holiday, which settled on the last Monday in May for its celebration. However, it's now looked on as more as the unofficial start of summer instead of the more solemn meaning of the holiday. But it is the origins of this holiday which I want to express today. Yes, there's nothing wrong with backyard barbecues and picnics, family gatherings, ball games, even trips to the Jersey Shore this weekend. But it is appropriate and important to celebrate the many freedoms we have, due in no small part to the many men and women who have gave the ultimate sacrifice to ensure those freedoms for us through the years. Our first military leader, George Washington himself, created the Order of the Purple Heart, and is the oldest decoration for military merit. His profile appears on that medal today, long before the office of president was ever imagined. But presidents through the years have echoed that feeling of duty, honor, and country. Most notably Abraham Lincoln. In his Gettysburg Address, Lincoln states the reasons why they were gathered on that Pennsylvania field during the Civil War in November 1863, when he said, "We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who gave their lives that this nation might endure. It is altogether fitting and proper that we do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract." Although he never served in the military, Franklin Roosevelt understood more than most the importance of the sacrifice of the men who perished in our wars. He put it in context in terms of the lives that we as civilians lead far, far away from such conflicts. FDR said, "Those who have long enjoyed such privileges as we enjoy forget in time that men have died to win them." Harry S. Truman, the only U.S. president to see combat in France during World War I, served as commander-in-chief during the closing days of World War II after Franklin Roosevelt had died. He truly understood the value of the veterans who never made it home. Truman said, "Our debt to the heroic men and valiant women in the service of our country can never be repaid. They have earned our undying gratitude. America will never forget their sacrifices." So this year, as we commemorate the 75th anniversary of the end of the war, in World War II, let's pause for a moment to discuss the true meaning of Memorial Day. The greatest war that was ever fought was won by the men and women of the greatest generation of our nation's history. With these thoughts, I would like to offer these poems as a remembrance to the American veterans who have served in all of our nation's conflicts from the American Revolution through the present and paid the ultimate price for their service to the country. We cannot thank you enough for your sacrifice so that we can remain free. In your memory, I dedicate today's presentation. A couple of short poems to start here. This one was written by a woman named Emily Toma in 2014, called On This Memorial Day. Remember those who served before. Remember those who are no more. Remember those who serve today. Remember them as we eat and play. Remember our protectors who are not home today. Remember them all on Memorial Day. Another more recent poem was by Mitchell Browder. In 2014, he wrote a poem called We Never Forget. Brothers and sisters at rest, we never forget. The gift you give, we still receive. How could you know so young that your battle at all cost must be won? Brothers and sisters at rest, may we in your eyes pass your test, and one day with honor join your ranks. I mentioned shortly about the important poem In Flanders Fields, probably the most important poem that came out of World War I. It was written by a Canadian serviceman named John McCrae, who served in World War I. And after having seen the battlefield, he came up with this famous poem called In Flanders Fields. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep through poppies, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. And that poem inspired an American, Moyna Michael, to adopt the poppy as a symbol of the holiday, Memorial Day, which we'll see veterans selling the poppies over the next few weekends. Please support them. Obviously, it keeps the programs going, the little paper poppies we have now. But this poem was written in November 1918, just as the armistice was signed. The poem was called We Shall Keep the Faith. Oh, you who sleep in Flanders Fields, sleep sweet to rise anew. We court the torch you threw, and holding high, we keep the faith with all who died. We cherish too the poppy red that grows on fields where valor led. It seems to signal to the skies that blood of heroes never dies, but lends a luster to the red of the flower that blooms above the dead in Flanders Fields. Now the torch and poppy red we wear in honor of our dead. Fear not that ye have died for naught. Will teach the lost lesson that ye wrought in Flanders Fields. We'll bring this to a more modern setting. This poem was published by Douglas McGuire in 2008, and he ties together the Vietnam War as well as the Iraq War in a poem he called Like Father, Like Son. Tyler James was just a baby when his daddy died in Nam. He was raised by his sister and a hard-working mom. He was raised to love his country, and every time he saw the flag, he thought of his father and how he gave all that he had. When Tyler finished high school, he found a good job. He helped his mom and sister because he knew that times were hard. Little did they know that the world was to change. Yeah, buildings came down by men who in hijacked planes. Tyler hugged his mom and sister and headed out the door. His country would respond. He knew there would be war. He enlisted in the service. They made him a strong man. After basic training, he was sent to a foreign land. Oh, he served with the bravest. They were proud and they stood tall. Some of them had fathers whose names are on the wall. After many months of battle, Tyler's mother got the call. Tyler James, her only son, took his final fall. On a hillside in the country now lies Tyler James, and his mother spoke the words engraved beneath his name. He was proud of his country, he would fight until we won. He was killed in battle, like father, like son. Tyler James was just a baby when his daddy died in Nam. Another older poem, going back now a while, by M. Lucille Ford, written after World War I, a poem she wrote called Heroes We Never Name. Back of the men we honor, enrolled on the scroll of fame, are the millions who go unmentioned, the heroes we never name, those who have won us the victories and conquered along the way, those who have made us a nation, a tribute to them I would pay. Back of our nation's first leader, of Lincoln and Wilson too, back in the mind directing our course was the army that carried it through. Back of the generals and captains with the tramping of rank and file. In the back of them were the ones at home who labored with tear and with smile. And what of the everyday heroes whose courage and efforts ne'er cease? Toilers who struggle and labor and strive and hope for a future of peace. Hats off to the worthy leaders, their honor I'd never claim, but here's a cheer to the many brave, the heroes we never name. I'll leave you last with another more recent poem published by Don Nielsen. We heard a few of his poem earlier, another one of his poems earlier, called To Them We Owe. It was published in 2014. Happened today and in the past, sacrifice made for ours to last. Wives to widows, families torn, gave their lives, for them we mourn. Gone forever, souls are lost, freedom comes with this cost. Enjoy the life they did preserve, fate they suffer, did not deserve. On this day, lest we forget, to them we owe our life in debt. Again, I want to thank all our veterans out there who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Thank everyone for listening to the poems today, and keep us. Again, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We'll continue to post some information here and then. We hope you have a safe holiday through these challenging times. Thank you for your support of the Linden Public Library. Keep safe during these challenging times. Thank you.